NFL playoffs, and we head first to Nashville, where temperatures will be in the middle 30s with lots of sunshine. It winds out of the northwest around 10 miles an hour here at game time at 3:30 in the afternoon. And then we head to Philadelphia, 29 degrees. It will be a chilly one here overnight with clear skies, winds out of the west-southwest around 12 miles an hour. Big game here in Philadelphia Saturday night. Elsewhere around the country, you're looking at your Saturday weather forecast. If you're heading out to do some skiing in the mountains of Colorado, there will be some new snow falling throughout the day. We're also looking at another storm system moving into the northwest, and we'll be bringing some new snow to the mountains of northern California, eventually into parts of the higher terrain of Oregon as well. And then Sunday, more snow here into parts of the mountains of northwest. We'll see a lot of rain, though, a lot of moisture with the system as it continues to work onshore throughout the weekend. This one will be the weather maker here as we head into the early part of the week. Sunday, we could see some interesting weather interior parts of the west as well, with some rain and snow possible around Boise, perhaps wintry mix and maybe even some freezing precipitation around Spokane. As we look elsewhere around the nation, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. In the plains, temperatures will warm up a couple of degrees. Same thing across the south. More clouds, though, across parts of the southern plains into the southeast. We'll see some showers possible Saturday night into Sunday here in South Texas. Houston could see some showers, and then eventually here into New Orleans, maybe into Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, and Tampa could see some showers on your Sunday. In the northeast, it's going to be quiet except around the lake effect areas, where we will still see some snowfall possible here into Sunday. And your Saturday weather, as we look at temperatures, it's going to be chilly again across the northern plains and upper Midwest and the northeast and even the south when you consider what we're expecting this time of year. Temperatures only in the 30s, 40s, 60s, and 70s for Florida. Your Sunday weather is still fairly cool here across the southeast, but warming up a little bit across the plains with temperatures getting into the 50s and 40s across the central plains. Well, if you're in Denver and you're heading to the rodeo and horse show, a beautiful day, 55 degrees, your high temperature with partly cloudy skies. And Philly, if you're heading to the auto show, 34 degrees with plenty of sunshine on Sunday. More to come in Storm Watch right after your local forecast.
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair. So you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free.
Just pay shipping and handling. You get it all, just $19.99. Call now.
To order the Better Pasta Pot, call 1-800-410.
The forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it.
Snow is falling around the lakes and rain will be moving into the west, but cold air across the upper Midwest continues to be the story here on Weather Center. Glad you could join me. I'm Jen Carfagno with your weekend weather, and we'll get started first with your Saturday highlights. We are looking at the lake effect snows continuing around Lakes Ontario, Erie, and even across Lake Michigan. Looking at lots of sunshine, but cold air all the way down into the south, and in the west, another storm system making its way onward. So we'll be looking at that cold air continuing to be in place across parts of the upper Midwest, and wind chills will be a big story as well. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But we're looking at temperatures some 10 to 15 degrees below average coming after a week where we saw temperatures 15 to 30 degrees above average. Now, as we head here into the weekend, looking at Snow Mountain, if you're heading up for the AIG Race for Kids, a high temperature of only 14 degrees. There will be some snow showers, though, in the forecast, so take it easy getting there. But once you do, it certainly will be a winter wonderland here for the kids. As we look at the Northeast, we'll talk about the lake effect snow and the other weather that we have going on across the Northeast. We have a very persistent westerly flow here across the lakes, and that is helping to kick off that lake effect snow. In fact, the lake effect really kicking up here off of Lake Ontario around the Tug Hill Plateau area in between Watertown and Syracuse. We are likely to see more than 6 inches of snow by morning, and then another foot possible Saturday, even more Saturday night into Sunday. We could be looking at over 3 feet of snow here before the weekend is over. We're also looking at snow here coming down off of Lake Erie around the Cleveland area, especially the east side of town. We could see about an inch here through the overnight. The snow has calmed down a little bit here around the Buffalo area. We still could see some light snow here, maybe an inch or so through the overnight, early morning, and into Saturday. We will see the snow pick back up again here. Also looking at snow across parts of Michigan as well, in particular into southwestern Michigan, and then up here into northwestern Michigan. We will see snow accumulate up to around 3 to 6 inches with some of the more persistent lake effect snow bands. Also looking at snow here, Johnstown down into the mountains of West Virginia, and we've seen some light snow showers reported all across the region in White Plains, New York, even around New York City, and then up into parts of Massachusetts. We'll see some light snow continuing across that area on Saturday. The most persistent snow, though, coming off the lakes, and in particular here off of Lake Ontario. We will see quite an accumulation when the weekend is over. Still continuing here through Saturday. Those winds just consistently coming out of the west, and they'll be gusting at times too. So we'll be a blustery weekend around the lakes. We could see some blowing snow, some drifting snow. In Philadelphia, for the Falcons and the Eagles game, 29 degrees. It will be a cold one at game time. Dress warmly for sure. One of the last games here at the Vet, so likely to be a good one. As we look at your Saturday forecast elsewhere across the Northeast, 34 in Philly during the day, 31 in New York City, 28 in Boston, and we're looking at 36 in Washington. Now, as I mentioned, wind chills will be a concern. We're looking at some pretty low wind chills, especially in the morning. 3, the expected wind chill in Buffalo, 0 in Pittsburgh, and we're looking at 1 below 0 in Cleveland. So morning paper route or heading out for a walk or a bike ride, certainly dress warmly. And on Sunday, we're still looking at snow in the forecast here for much of the Northeast, some light snow around Boston, 31 degrees, and we're looking at 34 in Washington with some partly cloudy skies. As we head to the upper Midwest, it was the snow across parts of Michigan that we talked about, but the cold air also a big concern here across the region. We'll see that snow continuing across the UP of Michigan, across northern lower Michigan, and then here across southwestern Michigan. We could see about 3 to 6 inches of snowfall in the more persistent lake effect bands. Now, as we head throughout the day, that's going to continue to be the case as those winds continue to come off the lakes from the west-northwest, even into the evening hours. The cold air on Friday, we saw temperatures in the teens, the single digits, and 20s across the region. Chicago, will you warm up for the weekend? Well, by Sunday, we'll be looking at temperatures creeping up near 30, getting up to 31 on Monday, but then back down into the teens here as we head into the middle of the week. We're looking at a 14-degree high temperature in Minneapolis for Saturday, 32 in Omaha, 21 for Chicago. And then your wind chill, here too a concern across the region. In fact, there are wind chill advisories in effect across parts of the upper Midwest for the potential of wind chills close to 25 degrees below 0. As you look at your Sunday forecast, we will warm up a little bit here, a couple more degrees, 19 in Minneapolis, 43 in Omaha, and there will be lots of sunshine across the region. As we talk about the west, we have one storm system that is making its way here across the west into the Colorado Rockies. That will eventually bring us some snow there, but it's another storm system poised offshore that will be making its way onshore throughout the day on Saturday, and that will bring us some rain that could be pretty heavy at times here to Northern California up into the northwest. We're looking at fairly light rain though expected through the rest of the overnight and through the morning hours. The snow pretty light as well, a couple of inches possible in the higher elevations. The morning will be fairly quiet. Probably around mid to late morning we'll start to see the first bit of rain here move into Northern California, and then throughout the day and into the evening we'll see the rain continue to move onshore. Seattle, watch for that rain here moving in late afternoon. 49 degrees your expected high temperature, and as we head throughout the day again, clouds early part of the day, rain heading in later in the day with temperatures in the mid to upper 40s. Across the west, we're also looking at the snow eventually moving into the Rockies. In Denver, though, it's 44 for you with some partly cloudy skies for your Saturday, and your Sunday forecast 55 degrees in Denver. We're still, though, looking at wet weather across the west. It could be a messy one up towards Spokane. The chance where we could see some freezing precipitation early in the day. We'll keep you posted on that. Now, as we talk quickly about the southeast, cold air moving in has been the story here as well. Temperatures really tumbling here from Thursday, Friday into Saturday. We're looking at temperatures only 50 degrees in Atlanta on Friday. It's going to be a few degrees cooler on Sunday. We're looking at mostly clear skies across much of the southeast, the exception across Texas, where we will have some rain moving in later in the weekend. More details coming up.
In the jungle of truck financing, there's one deal too good to pass up. Mitsubishi Fuso. Right now get 0% financing on select FE models, or choose 4.9% financing on other models. These dependable Mitsubishi Fusos are ready to go. And with financing like this, they'll go fast. But hurry in, this deal is gone March 31st. Remember, it's a jungle out there.
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair. So you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon of Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. So do it for yourself. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair.
You can't do better than real.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour. Currently in your area, 19 degrees, under partly cloudy skies. Forecast. your extended forecast.
The week ahead will bring some more cold air as well as some snowfall and the potential for a storm. We'll take a look at that here on the Weekly Planner. First, starting off with a look at the weekend, still looking at the lake effect here across the eastern lakes especially, and then we're also watching some snow, some rain across the Rockies, and another storm system moving into the northwest, and that will be the weather maker for the weekend as that system moves onshore throughout the weekend and will scoot off across the south, bring some wet weather here across the southeast. So you can see the next system here moving in across the plains, and we will see what happens here as we get into the middle to late next week with the cold air, the moisture, how much snow, how much rain we might expect. We'll talk about that. Now, as we look ahead to Saturday, we are looking at the snow continuing to be in effect here, lake effect, especially off of Lake Ontario, really kicking up some snowfall as we speak here through the overnight, and we'll see that persist throughout the day on Saturday. The winds will persist from the west throughout much of the weekend, actually, so a pretty snowy weekend out here across the lake effect snow belt regions. We're also watching for some showers here moving in later in the day across South Texas, some showers, some snow in the higher elevations of the Rockies and Colorado, and then another storm system moving into the northwest. That one will be the weather maker here as we head into the week. So bringing you some unsettled weather to the California, Northern California coast into the northwest as we head Saturday evening into overnight Saturday. And then Sunday, the system moves onshore, lots of rain, and we have a lot of moisture with the system, so we could see some pretty significant rainfalls here. And then we'll watch the system continue to work inland as we head throughout the day on Monday into Tuesday. Some snow showers possible here across the upper Midwest and into the Ohio Valley. As we head into Tuesday, some light snow possible across the northeast. We'll keep you posted on that one. And then we're also looking at another storm system here beginning to affect the northwest. Then as we head into Wednesday, we will look for a system developing across the plains. This is where we will be looking for also some more cold air to move on in, a second batch of cold air. And we'll see some snow, perhaps a mix of some rain and snow, and some rain showers. As we head into your Thursday, that system moves out through the Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley, and we'll watch for an area of snow, also an area of rain. Exactly who gets the snow and who gets the rain, yet to be seen. We'll have to wait on the timing of the system, how quickly it moves, and how much cold air there is by the end of the week. So as we head into Friday, the potential for some light snow here into the northeast. Otherwise, much of the country looking quiet for your next weekend. But let's talk about temperatures this weekend. A cold one here from the upper Midwest into the southeast for your Saturday. Into Sunday, we'll see a little bit of a warm up here across the plains with temperatures getting into the 50s and some 40s. As we head into Monday, that warm up persists across the plains, but another shot of cold air moves in Tuesday into Wednesday. Temperatures cool back down here into the single digits. We'll see some teens, 20s, and some 30s here across the Tennessee Valley, with 40s and 50s across the southeast, and the chance for some 60s here across Florida. So a cool one as we head into the end of your week, Wednesday into Thursday. Well, we'll keep you posted on the week ahead, but we'll take a look now at some lake effect snow conditions and what we can expect here as we head throughout the weekend. Let's talk about the favored wind directions for lake effect snow. Buffalo, we're looking at mainly a southwest wind for the best snow. Watertown, it's a west, a little bit of southwest component. As we head through the weekend, we're going to mainly be looking at some westerly winds, and that's going to keep some pretty hefty snowfall amounts here coming off the lakes, and in particular Watertown, Tug Hill Plateau area. That's where we will see some of the biggest snow totals. We could be looking at more than 3 feet of snow when the weekend is over here. So the snow really piling up, and in some cases could cause some pretty hazardous driving conditions. Those of you who aren't used to driving in the snow, in the lake effect snow, clear skies 1 minute, the next you're in blinding snow, and we will be seeing some blowing and drifting snow with this storm system here because of the strong winds. Talking about Cleveland here, so far this year we have seen over 35 inches of snowfall. We compare that to average, and we are already above the average snowfall, and it's only January. We'll talk more about what your weekend has in store for you coming up next.
Do you love delicious pasta but hate draining that boiling water with all that splashing and scalding? It's a mess. Hi, I'm Pat Murphy-Stark for the Invention Channel to tell you about the better pasta pot, the pot with the holes on top. Now, cook perfect pasta in the pot, then pour out the liquid without removing the lid. The lid is actually a built-in colander, the best new idea since spaghetti and meatballs. The non-stick surface guarantees the pasta won't stick to the pot. The better pasta pot holds a full 8 quarts. That's 33% bigger than other pasta pots. And watch this. The patented handles automatically lock on the lid. Just lift the handles and drain. It couldn't be easier. And it's not just for pasta. Pour out the liquid through the lid for perfect boiled potatoes. Have a New England clam bake. All the flavor, none of the fuss. The better pasta pot has 2 sets of holes. Smaller holes are ideal for angel hair pasta. Even rice and beans won't slip through. For delicious meat sauce, just brown the meat, drain the grease right through the lid, then add the sauce. It's that easy. The better pasta pot, the pot with the holes on top, just $19.99. And here's an even better deal, the bonus pasta package. You get the mini pot with the amazing colander lid. We'll include the easy grater to grate cheese with ease for delicious gourmet accents. You get the tap-tap chopper for tomatoes, onions, and peppers for sensational sauce. You get the flexible cutting board, so fast, so easy. And the better pasta spoon. It not only measures your serving size, it stirs and separates for perfect pasta. You get the complete 6-piece bonus pasta package free. Just pay shipping and handling. You get it all. The 8-quart better pasta pot with the quick lock handles and 2 sets of holes. And the entire bonus pasta package. An incredible value, just $19.99. Call now.
To order the better pasta pot, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-217-0422. That's 1-800-217-0422. Or send a check or money order to the address on your screen. So call 1-800-217-0422 and order today.
Monday, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado.
We're trapped.
On prom night.
I thought we were in big trouble.
Plus, trapped in the wild by a storm.
Nobody's gonna find me here.
4 terrifying days you have to see to believe.
50% of the people die within the first day.
Watch a new series from the Weather Channel. Storm Stories. Monday at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
With yo-yo diets and food fads, do you need help making the right diet choices? Introducing NutriCounter, the electronic organizer that monitors and measures your food. Not just a calorie counter, it creates a program for your individual goals. Lose or gain weight, reduce cholesterol, fat, sodium, and sugar. Manage fiber, protein, and carbs. Type in your food and it displays the nutritional content and adds up your totals for the day. If you go over your goal, the line flashes. It's like having a personal diet counselor. There's over 2,000 built-in foods, including fast foods or add your own. NutriCounter looks like a calculator so you can discreetly use it anywhere.
I use the NutriCounter to watch my sodium intake, and I lost weight.
Call the toll-free number to find out how you can invest in NutriCounter to start enjoying a lifetime of diet success. Enjoy success the NutriCounter way. Call now.
To order your NutriCounter or for more information, call 1-800-968-1979. Toll-free right now. That's 1-800-968-1979. Call now.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
Currently in your area, 19 degrees, under partly cloudy skies. The forecast for your area. extended forecast.
It's time for your skiers forecast, and there is some new snow falling across parts of the Northeast and the West. We'll get an update here. Thanks for joining me. I'm Jen Carfagno. First, we'll look at what's happening right now as we look at the latest satellite picture over the last 6 hours. A lot of snow falling across the lake effect regions of the Northeast. We're looking at clouds moving into Texas and a lot of clouds over the West with some snow and some rain here into parts of the West. So we'll talk about each region of the country as well as what we can expect in your forecast for Saturday. First, looking at the big picture here. We are looking at an area of low pressure that is continuing to move through the Northeast. We're continuing to see those westerly winds here across the Northeast. So it's not an organized front or storm system, but it's the lake effect snow that will continue to add up here, especially across Lake Ontario. Eventually off of Lake Erie, we'll see some more snowfall as well, and then continuing off of Lakes Michigan and Lake Superior. In the west, throughout the day, we have a storm system moving onshore. Another one here that will be moving onshore early to late afternoon into the evening hours, bringing some rain and eventually some snow to the higher elevations out west. And throughout the day, we will see a lot of high pressure here in the plains back through the southeast. That will keep us with lots of sunshine, although we will still see some pretty cool temperatures. We'll talk about that too. Rain moving into Texas, and we'll show you that on the regional update. But looking at the snowfall forecast across the lakes, 3 to 6 inches in most of the heavier snow bands by the morning hours here, but it could be off of Lake Ontario, where we could see more than 6 inches by morning, with more to come throughout the day on Saturday and Sunday. Storm totals throughout the weekend, we could be looking at over 3 feet off of Lake Ontario here around Tug Hill Plateau area in between Watertown and Syracuse, looking at the potential of maybe a foot and a half off of Lake Erie. So some pretty significant snowfall out here. In the west, things are going to be pretty quiet here through the overnight. It's Saturday night into Sunday is when things get very active, with the snow adding up here into parts of Northern California and into the southern mountains of Oregon. Talking about temperatures, a very chilly one here across the northern plains and upper Midwest. We're looking at some temperatures below zero and some wind chills in perhaps as much as -25, -30 in some places. There is a wind chill advisory in effect here for northern parts of Minnesota, northwestern Wisconsin, and eastern part of North Dakota. We're looking at 20s all the way down to the Gulf Coast, 50s here all the way down to Miami, so a cool night here as well. And we'll see a much cooler day on Saturday across southern Florida with 60s and 70s here for your expected high. A lot of 20s and 30s here across the Northeast, Midwest, and only some teens and single digits across the northern plains. As we head to the Northeast, you're looking at the snow continuing in Buffalo, Burlington, some light snow possible. It's 28 with some partly cloudy skies for you in Boston. It's 44 in Atlanta. The rain moving into Houston and San Antonio later on in the day. Your temperatures will hang out in the mid to upper 40s. As we look at your temperatures here across the upper Midwest, 21 in Chicago, 14 in Minneapolis. Lots of sunshine across the region, but temperatures just won't warm up that much as we head into your Saturday. And then out west, as we look at your forecast here, we're looking at the possibility of some snowfall into the mountains of Colorado, maybe even down to New Mexico. 42 for you in Salt Lake City. The rain moves in later in the day around Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco with your temperatures in the upper 40s. It's time now for your skiers forecast. As promised, a new snow falling across the lakes region. We're looking at some morning snow possible here around Lutsen and Boyne Mountain. 20 degrees your expected temperature throughout the day on Saturday. Some other conditions here across the Northeast in Killington. 4 inches of new snow on the ground with powder conditions. Stratton Mountain powder conditions too, and Hunter Mountain packed powder conditions. 50 trails open with 2 new inches of snowfall. Smuggler's Notch in Vermont powder conditions here as well with 1 inch of new snow. In Gore Mountain, 5 inches of new snow reported with powder conditions. Park City, Utah, 36 degrees with some morning snow showers. Aspen, some new snow expected as well, 32 degrees. We'll look for some new snow across the west as we head throughout the weekend. Coming up next on the Weather Channel, stay tuned, Weather Center, but first, your local forecast.
When you're away from your television, check out the skier's forecast on the World Wide Web at weather.com. We'll provide you with easy access to the latest ski conditions and even webcam views of selected resorts around the country. That's skier's forecast from the Weather Channel at weather.com or America Online keyword weather.
It's hard enough rushing through a stressful world during your waking hours. So why add to that stress in bed, tossing and turning on an uncomfortable metal spring mattress? You deserve a good night's sleep, and that's just what you'll get with the Tempur-Pedic Swedish Sleep System, the only mattress that uses the gravity-defying Tempur material originally developed by NASA. Instead of uncomfortable metal springs, the Tempur-Pedic mattress uses billions of viscoelastic memory cells. This soft yet supportive material automatically adjusts to every curve of your body, providing a weightless-like sleep surface that you have to feel to believe.
It feels like it's actually forming its own glove to me.
I can't really find an uncomfortable position.
It's like nothing I've ever felt before in a mattress.
Now you can feel it for yourself. Call and we'll rush you a free sample of the revolutionary Tempur material along with this video and information kit. You'll learn how metal springs create pressure points that cause you to toss and turn. Tempur-Pedic reduces pressure points so you can get a better night's sleep.
The Tempur-Pedic mattress is unique in that it is firm, but yet it molds to your body, thus relieving those pressure points and allowing you to get a much better night's sleep.
First night was amazing. The second night, I woke up the next morning, no back pain. And I've always had back pain. I was sold after 2 nights.
And because Tempur-Pedic doesn't transfer motion, you'll never disturb your partner. Look how this glass of red wine doesn't tip over, even when she jumps up and down. Try that with a metal spring mattress. Don't be fooled by imitators. Only the Tempur-Pedic mattress uses the revolutionary Tempur material originally developed by NASA. Tempur-Pedic, changing the way the world sleeps.
Call 1-800-847-6116 for your free video information kit and free sample of the revolutionary Tempur material. Call now.
Monday, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado.
We're trapped.
On prom night.
I thought we were in big trouble.
Plus, trapped in the wild by a storm.
Nobody's gonna find me here.
4 terrifying days you have to see to believe.
50% of the people die within the first day.
Watch a new series from the Weather Channel. Storm Stories. Monday at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
Currently, the temperature is 19 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Forecast for your area. Your extended forecast.
You're watching the Weather Channel. Live by it.
Snow is falling around the Great Lakes, another storm system moving into the west, and cold air still in place across the upper Midwest and all the way into the south. Thanks for joining me here on Weather Center. I'm Jen Carfagno. We have your update on your weekend weather just ahead. First, a look at the highlights for your weather on Saturday. Looking at the snow continuing across the Great Lakes, cold air still in place from the northern plains down to the south. Some showers possible across parts of Texas, and then another storm system moving into the west, bringing some rain and eventually some snow to some of the higher elevations. We'll get started here looking at departures from average with forecast temperatures for Saturday. We're after a week of temperatures 15 to 30 degrees above average. We'll start off the weekend here with temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below average. Now, actually, the temperatures that we'll be seeing this weekend are a bit more seasonal for this time of year, but we'll feel cold after this warm week nonetheless. Looking into Vermont, though, if you're heading up to Stowe Mountain for the AIG Race for Kids, the high temperature 14 degrees, so bundle everyone up. There will be some snow showers. Could be some tough getting there on some of the roadways, but once you do, it will certainly be a winter wonderland here for the kids. And looking elsewhere across the Northeast, still watching lots of snow falling here across the lakes, and in particular the snow really kicking up off of Lake Ontario. We could see snowfall totals here over 6 inches by morning, with more than a foot possible Saturday, again Saturday night into Sunday, possibly up to 3 feet total here off of Lake Ontario. We have very persistent westerly winds here over the lakes, and we're continuing to see that throughout the weekend. So we'll see the snow continue. Again, more than 6 inches possible here between Watertown and Syracuse, just off the Tug Hill Plateau area. And then we are seeing some snow though around Watertown, and visibility is down to about 4 miles. Some snow blowing at times around Syracuse. Snow continuing to come down at times around Cleveland. Here we're probably looking at maybe an inch or two east side of town, and then watching the snow into southwestern Michigan and northwestern Michigan as well. Here too we could see a couple of inches possible by morning. We've also seeing some snow falling, light snow into eastern Pennsylvania, even some light snow around Wilmington, Delaware. New York City, some light snow being reported as well. Won't accumulate too much here. And as we head throughout the day on Saturday, we'll see some breezy conditions, but not likely to see a whole lot of snow here along the East Coast. Still looking at some light snow falling into parts of Pennsylvania, into the mountains of West Virginia, and then the lake effect snow continuing to kick up throughout the day and the evening hours in the Northeast. Philadelphia, your forecast for Saturday evening, one of the probably the last big game here at the Vet. 29 degrees. It will be a chilly one. Bundle up. The winds will be out of the west-southwest at about 12 miles an hour. Skies will be clear though. And your Saturday forecast elsewhere across the Northeast: 28 degrees in Boston, 36 degrees in Washington, and a chilly 27 in Cincinnati. The wind chills will be another concern, and if you are heading out, make sure you bundle up. We're looking at wind chills in the teens, single digits, and even below zero in some cases here across the region. Your Sunday forecast, we warm up at a few degrees in some places, 30 in Cincinnati, 23 in Pittsburgh, and looking at mostly cloudy skies here. Across the upper Midwest, a lot of clear skies, but still some snow across parts of Michigan, in particular off of Lake Superior in the UP of Michigan, off of Lake Michigan here into the southwestern part of Michigan, and we could see a couple of inches of snow accumulate. Again, here too, continuing throughout the day as the winds continue to come out of the west and west-northwest, we'll see the snow continue as well. Now, temperatures on Friday: 13 in Minneapolis. It was 26 in Chicago. Will there be a warm-up in store? Saturday, we're looking at 21 in Chicago, but then temperatures do warm up to near the freezing mark Sunday into Monday. Back down, though, into the teens as we head into the middle of the week. In your forecast in Minneapolis for Saturday, it's 14 degrees. Lots of sunshine across the region, but really temperatures aren't going to warm up that much. And here, too, wind chills will be a concern. We are looking at wind chills 15 to 20, even 25 to 30 degrees below zero in some cases here with the wind chill. We do have a wind chill advisory in effect, and when wind chills get that low, we're looking at 10 to 15 minutes outside on skin that's not covered up. Could cause frostbite. So the concern is to make sure you bundle up if you are heading out in the morning. That's when wind chills will be at their lowest. The winds will come down throughout the day, and Sunday will feel a lot better here across the region, up to 43 degrees in Omaha, 44 in Kansas City. Looking westward, we have one system moving through the west that will eventually bring some rain and some snow to the mountains in Colorado. We're looking at another system offshore making its way towards the coast, and we'll be heading onshore later in the day on Saturday. Overall, the rainfall will be light, snowfall not expecting much here through the early part of Saturday. We'll watch for more of that, though, as this next system moves onshore early, say late morning into early afternoon, watching for the rain move into Northern California and then spreading up the coast throughout the overnight hours into the day on Saturday. Looking at Seattle, 49 degrees with some evening showers, and we're looking at clouds for the most part early in the day. Temperatures will hang out in the middle 40s. As we look elsewhere across the west, it will be 57 in Sacramento. Again, the rain moving into Arcata and Ukiah. Temperatures around 58 degrees in San Francisco. As we head down to the southwest, San Diego 66 degrees, and Santa Barbara 64, and we're looking at a very nice 72 in Palm Springs. So elsewhere across the west, it's 49 expected in Reno on Saturday, 43 in Boise, and your Sunday forecast continues to be pretty sloppy out here in the northwest. Could see some icy weather possible around Spokane. We'll keep you posted on that one. In the south, a big cool down here, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Orlando. Much cooler temperatures expected on Saturday, especially compared to what we saw on Friday. And the cold air will stay with us here across the southeast Saturday into Sunday. We're looking at mainly clear skies across the region. We do have some clouds moving into Texas, and we will see some rain showers moving in by mid to late day on Saturday across parts of South Texas. More to come on your weather and travel-wise. That's
Fed up with yo-yo diets and food fads? Do you need help making the right diet choices? Introducing NutriCounter, the electronic organizer that monitors and measures your food. Not just a calorie counter, it creates a program for your individual goals. Lose or gain weight, reduce cholesterol, fat, sodium, and sugar. Manage fiber, protein, and carbs. Type in your food and it displays the nutritional content and adds up your totals for the day. If you go over your goal, the line flashes. It's like having a personal diet counselor. There's over 2,000 built-in foods, including fast foods, or add your own. NutriCounter looks like a calculator, so you can discreetly use it anywhere.
I use the NutriCounter to watch my sodium intake, and I lost weight.
Call the toll-free number to find out how you can invest in NutriCounter to start enjoying a lifetime of diet success. Enjoy success the NutriCounter way. Call now.
To order your NutriCounter or for more information, call 1-800-968-1979. Toll free right now. That's 1-800-968-1979. Call now.
If you have diabetes, you've probably handled thousands of test strips. But no more, thanks to the AccuCheck Compact Meter. Just drop in a drum containing 17 test strips. Press the button and you're ready. 17 consecutive tests and no handling strips. What could be clearer? The AccuCheck Compact Meter. Look for the one with the drum.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
Currently, the temperature is 19 degrees under partly cloudy skies. extended forecast.
This program was brought to you by the AccuCheck Compact Blood Glucose Meter. Look for the one with the drum.
Traveling on I-81 or I-90 here throughout parts of the Northeast could be some tough travel as you head throughout the early part of the day. The snow will continue to come down. I-81 especially here around, say, between Watertown and Syracuse. That could be some of your toughest travel with some blinding snow coming down at around 2 inches an hour possible at times. We're also looking at some snow possible off of Lake Erie as well, and so some of the travel, some of your roadways could be impacted here as well. We're looking at relatively lighter snow into parts of western Pennsylvania back down into West Virginia, but here too we could see some bouts of heavier snow, and watch out for the potential of some slowdowns here on the roadways. Make sure you do reduce your speed. And we have also seen some light snow across the eastern seaboard, stretching from Boston back down through New York City, even around Wilmington, Delaware. We've seen some reports of light snow. Won't be looking for much accumulation here, but that certainly will cause a flurry of activity once you see a few snowflakes coming down. As we look at what we can expect throughout the Northeast, again, the snowfall will be heaviest across Lake Ontario, the Tug Hill Plateau coming in with more than 6 inches for the morning hours, and then more to come throughout the day on Saturday, possibly up to a foot, and then another foot possible Saturday into Saturday at night. We're looking at the snow coming down off of Lake Erie into the Cleveland area, mainly east of town, an inch or two possible there, and then looking at snow falling here off of Lake Michigan. Southwestern Michigan is where we could see a couple of inches with some of that more persistent lake effect snow. In the west, we'll see some snow in some of the higher elevations. Overall, though, only a couple of inches of snowfall expected, and the rain will be fairly light as well. It's another storm system that will be making its way into the west that will cause some travel problems in the northwest as we head Saturday night into Sunday. Some clouds moving into Texas, and in South Texas we could see some rain moving in late in the day. More details in your weekend outlook coming up.
Property owners, if weeds and brush are taking over your land, at last there is a solution. The amazing DR Field and Brush Mower can reclaim overgrown parts of your property with less work than you ever dreamed possible. Now, if you've ever tried to clear an overgrown field or ditch with a handheld brush cutter or a shaky sickle bar mower, you know they're exhausting to use. Take hold of a DR Field and Brush Mower, though, and you've got a whole different story. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 2 inches thick and chops most everything it cuts, so there's no tangle of vegetation to trip over or to pick up. So why let weeds and brush take over? Call now for complete details about the amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower. Try out a DR Field and Brush Mower for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-380-8989. That's 1-800-380-8989 for your free DR catalog and video. Online at drfieldbrush.com.
NFL playoffs, and we head first to Nashville, where temperatures will be in the middle 30s with lots of sunshine. It winds out of the northwest around 10 miles an hour here at game time at 3:30 in the afternoon. And then we head to Philadelphia, 29 degrees. It will be a chilly one here overnight with clear skies, winds out of the west-southwest around 12 miles an hour. Big game here in Philadelphia Saturday night. Elsewhere around the country, looking at your Saturday weather forecast. If you're heading out to do some skiing in the mountains of Colorado, there will be some new snow falling throughout the day. We're also looking at another storm system moving into the northwest, and we'll be bringing some new snow to the mountains of northern California, eventually into parts of the higher terrain of Oregon as well. And then Sunday, more snow here into parts of the mountains of northwest. We'll see a lot of rain, though, a lot of moisture with the system as it continues to work onshore throughout the weekend. This one will be the weather maker here as we head into the early part of the week. Sunday, we could see some interesting weather interior parts of the west as well, with some rain and snow possible around Boise, perhaps wintry mix and maybe even some freezing precipitation around Spokane. As we look elsewhere around the nation, we're looking at mostly sunny skies in the plains. Temperatures will warm up a couple of degrees. Same thing across the south. More clouds, though, across parts of the southern plains into the southeast. We'll see some showers possible Saturday night into Sunday here in South Texas. Houston could see some showers, and then eventually here into New Orleans, maybe into Jackson, Mississippi, Mobile, and Tampa could see some showers on your Sunday. In the northeast, it's going to be quiet except around the lake effect areas where we will still see some snowfall possible here into Sunday. And your Saturday weather, as we look at temperatures, it's going to be chilly again across the northern plains and upper Midwest and the northeast and even the south when you consider what we're expecting this time of year. Temperatures only in the 30s, 40s, 60s, and 70s for Florida. Your Sunday weather is still fairly cool here across the southeast, but warming up a little bit across the plains with temperatures getting into the 50s and 40s across the Central Plains. Well, if you're in Denver and you're heading to the rodeo and horse show, a beautiful day, 55 degrees, your high temperature with partly cloudy skies. And Philly, if you're heading to the auto show, 34 degrees with plenty of sunshine on Sunday. More to come in Storm Watch right after your local forecast.
You know, most men get pretty shook up about losing their hair. But today, many of them are learning about Bosley Medical. They use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. Just look at that. It really works. You can treat it like real hair because it is real hair. Your own naturally growing hair. So you don't have to worry about it.
Bosley Medical is the world's most experienced hair restoration practice. For over 25 years, they have performed more than 130,000 procedures using the innovative micrografting techniques pioneered by founder Dr. L. Lee Bosley.
Each surgeon at Bosley Medical is board certified and individually trained by me.
So if you want to have your own naturally growing hair back, call this number for more information. We'll send you this free video and in-depth guidebook that gives you the real facts about hair restoration. There's no cost and absolutely no obligation. So do it for yourself. Call now and get the real results you've been looking for.
It's your real hair.
You can't do better than real. Monday, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado.
We're trapped.
On prom night.
I thought we were in big trouble.
Plus, trapped in the wild by a storm.
Nobody's gonna find me here.
4 terrifying days you have to see to believe.
50% of the people die within the first day.
Watch a new series from the Weather Channel. Storm Stories. Monday at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
You know what happened while you were in the store? Your brand new car just got bombarded with dents. It seems like the world is out to ruin your car. Now you can pop those dents with Popsident, the fast, easy way to make those dents disappear. Just press the special adhesive disc onto the dent, lower the pulling rod onto the disc, turn the handle, and Popsident. Call right now and get the amazing Popsident system with everything you need to fix dozens of dents, just $19.95. Call in the next 15 minutes and we'll send you Popsident Scratch Remover. The exclusive matching formulation blends in with your car's natural color and makes those ugly scratches disappear. We'll also send you a glue gun and glue sticks. A total $40 value, yours free with every Popsident system.
Call 1-800-934-0330 to order Popsident for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. That number again is 1-800-934-0330. 1-800-934-0330.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
Currently in your area, 19 degrees, under partly cloudy skies. forecast. Your extended forecast.
Past the hour in time for Storm Watch. We have an update on the heavy snow falling across the lake effect regions of the Northeast, as well as another storm system making its way into the Northwest. But first here, let's take a look at on this date from 1898. We typically don't think of tornadoes in January, but in fact one of the deadliest tornadoes in January history hit Fort Smith, Arkansas on this date. The tornado was an F4 and it killed 55 people, injuring 113 others. So typically not the type of weather we think about in January. Usually it is snow, and at this time we are not expecting any stormy weather, just snowfall and rain. But here too, it could be some tough travel conditions, and we'll keep you posted here as we go through this edition of Storm Watch. Looking at the water vapor imagery, a couple of features here to talk about. We have the snow across the lake effect region of the Northeast, persistent westerly winds here moving across this region. We also have a little disturbance that will move in across South Texas, bringing us some wet weather. And then we have one storm system moving into interior parts of the west, another one just offshore that will be moving onshore later in the day, Saturday into Sunday, bringing us some wet weather here into Northern California and into the Northwest. We'll focus first in on the lake effect snow and just remind us of where are the favored wind directions for the best snowfall here. In Watertown, it's winds out of the west, maybe a little bit of a southerly component. In Buffalo, it's more of a southwesterly component. There's going to be relatively westerly winds here, maybe a little bit of a northwest at times, but big snow here for Watertown as we go throughout the weekend. We could be looking at more than 3 feet. Some pretty good snow here into southwestern Michigan, into northwestern Michigan as well, and then into the eastern part of the UP of Michigan, where we could be looking at a couple of inches of snow, moderate snow. Now, as we go through the early part of the day on Saturday, travel could be tough, and especially some of the north-south bound highways, especially off of Lake Ontario, around the Tug Hill Plateau area, I-81 in between Watertown and Syracuse, and all of the other side roads. We will see some very persistent snowfall here throughout the day, Saturday, and even into Sunday. So some tough travel here. Watch for more snow to develop throughout the day off of Lake Erie around the Buffalo area, and then even around Cleveland we could still see some snow. And we have been seeing some snow fall into western Pennsylvania, back down into West Virginia, and even some light snow here along the eastern seaboard. And when I say light, it is relatively light here, but still could see a few flakes and maybe a dusting on the ground. Across the upper Midwest, we will continue to see the snowfall as well. The eastern part of the upper peninsula of Michigan, northern and northwestern lower Michigan, and then southwestern lower Michigan is where we'll see the snow continue. Kalamazoo, Muskegon, we've seen some light snow continue, and it will continue through the morning hours. Otherwise, we'll see quiet conditions across the region, a couple of inches here into Michigan, and we'll be looking for that to continue throughout the day on Saturday. In the Northeast here too, looking for the snow to continue, the winds persistent out of the west, and so we will see that snowfall continuing off of the lakes as we go throughout the day. Again, looking at maybe 6 inches through the morning hours off of Lake Ontario, a couple of inches possible off of Lake Erie, and then a couple of inches possible here off of Lake Michigan as well, and up off of Lake Superior. Then throughout the day, perhaps a foot total off of Lake Erie, and then by Sunday, possibly 3 feet here off of Lake Ontario. In the west, another storm system will be making its way onshore. We do have one system that has already moved inland, and we're seeing some light rain at times throughout parts of Utah, even into Arizona, some snow as well in some of the higher terrain, and we'll see some snow move into Colorado later in the day on Saturday. But it's this next system that really will be a potent one as it moves onshore very early, late morning, say we'll see some showers into Northern California, and then afternoon and evening moving into the northwest. And we've already seen some rain across California. Here are some rain totals from California throughout the day. On Friday, 2 inches in Whispering Pines. San Francisco saw just over an inch. Sacramento about 3/4 of an inch. And then we will see more rain to come here as we head throughout the day on Saturday. Things will be light to start. We're looking at fairly light precipitation early in the day, but then Saturday night into Sunday, we'll watch for more.
Do you love pasta but hate the splashing, scalding mess? Pat Murphy Stark for the Invention Channel for the better pasta pot, the pot with the holes on top. Pour out the liquid right through the lid. It's a built-in colander. With a non-stick surface, it holds a full 8 quarts. That's 33% bigger. The patented handles automatically lock on. Just lift and drain. It works perfect for potatoes. Have a clam bake. There's smaller holes for angel hair pasta. Brown meat, then drain the grease for delicious meat sauce. The better pasta pot, just $19.99. Plus, get the bonus pasta package, the mini pot with the amazing colander lid, the easy grater to grate cheese with ease, the chopper for sensational sauce, the flexible cutting board, and the better pasta spoon. Measures, stirs, and separates. The complete 6-piece bonus pasta package free. Just pay shipping and handling. You get it all, just $19.99. Call now.
To order the Better Pasta Pot, call 1-800-410-5959. That's 1-800-410-5959. Call now.
Do you want to make more money? Here's a fact. You can earn over $50,000 a year in home inspection, remodeling, carpentry, and other building trades. So find out how easy it can be to train at home for these careers with Education Direct. Just call this toll-free number. At Education Direct, more than 12 million men and women have trained for job promotions and new careers without ever setting foot inside a classroom. And now at home in your spare time, you can get your career diploma or even your specialized associate degree. Choose from any one of these courses: home inspector, electrician, appliance repair, home remodeling and repair, auto mechanic, high school, PC repair, motorcycle repair, private investigator, HVAC technician, locksmith, small engine repair, TV VCR repair, plumber, carpenter, or get your specialized associate degree. You can major in business management or accounting. Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-816-2766. There is no obligation. That's 1-800-816-2766. Call now.
Get personalized weather alerts from the Weather Channel, delivered anytime, anywhere. Be informed, be prepared, get notified at weather.com/notify.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this radio station.
Monday, brace yourself for storm stories. See these students.
We were getting pretty frantic.
Go face to face with a tornado.
We're trapped.
On prom night.
I thought we were in big trouble.
Plus, trapped in the wild by a storm.
Nobody's going to find me here.
4 terrifying days you have to see to believe.
50% of the people die within the first day.
Watch a new series from the Weather Channel. Storm Stories. Monday at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
Now, from the Weather Channel, here's your local forecast, always on the 8s of every hour.
Currently in your area, 19 degrees, under partly cloudy skies.